evening Bhagavatam class, and we are now starting with the second chapter of the first canto, Canto 1, Chapter 2. We have completed last time, we completed the first chapter. We completed with the 6 questions asked by the sages. Can anyone give me a fast recap of what we did last week? Does anyone remember?
The question asked by the rishis to Sutta Goswami.
Yes. What are the 6 questions? Can anyone give me the understanding of the 6 questions? It's there in front of you in the screen. I have put it for you all in the projector. Tell me what is written in the first question. What are the first 6 questions?
What is the ultimate good for the people in general?
What is ultimate good for the Pumsam Ekanta Shreyaha? What is ultimate good for the people? I am repeating this for 5 minutes. The reason is the last lecture is not on YouTube for some reason or the other. So for that purpose, I am repeating, just taking 5 minutes so that we get the continuation of it. So the sages in Naimisharanya who had assembled are asking this question to Sutta Goswami, and in this verse they use the word Ayushyaman. Ayushyaman, why this word Ayushyaman was used? Because his father had died, was killed by Balramji. Romaharsha was killed by Balramji because he did not get up when Balramji entered in and did not pay obeisances. But when Romaharsha was killed, all the sages said, Balram, you have done a big thing. Balramji, you have killed a Brahmana. Secondly, we have just now blessed him with long ayu so that he can give a lot of katha. Now what will happen to that? So Balramji gave an option: should I bring them back to life? For that, the sages said, no, we don't want you to get him back to life. You do something by which our words are also kept and your wishes are also kept. So the Balramji immediately installed his son Sutta Goswami with a long life and with all knowledge and blessed him. So, and they said the son is a representative of the father. So father is as good as the sun setting over there. After that, Sutta Goswami, Sutta Goswami was when he went to Naimisharanya, Shonaka and Adi Rishis, they asked him about various 6 questions. This is the first question they asked. That what is absolute and ultimate good, Shreyaha, for people in general? That is verse number 1.1.9 and 1.1.11, where they are asking the Saram. Saram means essence. And I told you all why this question is important. These people, rishis, were already great yogis who knew all the Vedas. In spite of all having knowledge of the Vedas, they wanted something to know about pure devotion service. So they asked the Sutta Goswami, please give us the saram. We want to eat the fruit. Even the words Nigama Kalpataro Galitam Phalam. What does this mean, Nigama Kalpataro Galitam Phalam? It is a ripened fruit. See, if you want to have mango leaves smell the same taste, same flavor they have as the mango fruit is. The mango bark also has the same flavor. The mango trunk or stem, all the parts of the tree gives you the same flavor. But the sweetened mango or the fruit can only be enjoyed only in the fruit. By eating the bark, by eating the leaves, you will not get the entire taste of the tree. So similarly, this is the sar. And last but not the least, when this ripened fruit is given, you don't have to explain anything. The fruit itself talks for itself. The fruit itself talks for itself. So these are the various things which we had discussed in the earlier lectures. And for third question was, for what reason did Lord take birth from the womb of Devaki? Why did Lord take birth in the womb of Devaki? What was the need for it? Then tell us the act that Lord performs in relation to creating this material world. Here he is talking of the avatars. Which avatar is talking of? Purusha avatars. Then the fifth question is, describe the activities of the incarnations of the Lord. Here we are talking of the various Leela avatar and Guna avatars. The various avatars which are like the Dasha avatar and all those various other things. We are talking of this. And the last question is, where has the religious principle taken shelter after Lord departed? So this is what we had discussed in the last session. Some people are lost in the 6 questions. Okay, so let's start today's session. So before we start today's session, let's start with our Mangala Charan.
Romashan Rishi is the same who had that one Rom Kitna Ayushya was like one.
No, that was different.
That was it.
So let's start the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudire Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavatir Neshtaki Om Ajnanatimarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshunvitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yukta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. So after this, the whole first chapter, Suta Goswami has not opened his mouth. He has not spoken a single word. The entire thing was spoken by the various rishis. And now, Vyasadeva starts that Ugrashava, that is Suta Goswami, the son of Romaharsha, being fully satisfied by the perfect questions of the Brahmanas, thanked them and thus attempted to reply. So humble way he is putting, he attempted to reply. He is the great Suta Goswami, but still he attempted to reply. Secondly, very important, the questions asked should be sensible. The same thing applies when Parikshit will ask questions to Sukadeva Goswami. That time also Sukadeva Goswami says, Varyaneshte Prashna. That is the first verse starting in the second canto. First canto, Sukadeva Goswami doesn't speak only. He starts speaking in the, like Bhagavad Gita, Krishna doesn't speak in the first chapter. Only from the second chapter he starts. First chapter he listens. All big dialogues are spoken by Arjuna. Similarly, first canto, Sukadeva Goswami, there is no word mention of Sukadeva Goswami. And first chapter, there is no word mention about Suta Goswami also. So, Romaharsha was very satisfied. Now, here, what does this mean he was satisfied? It means what type of questions a sadhu should be asked, one should be aware of it. And a sadhu is actually, a true sadhu is happy when you ask him something which is related to the soul and not related to the body. We are generally, we don't have the habit of asking the right question. We don't know how to ask the right question. स्वामी जी मेरा बच्चे को नौकरी कब लगेगा, स्वामी जी मेरा बेटी का शादी कब होगा, स्वामी जी मुझे नौकरी कब लगेगी, कब मेरा प्रमोशन होगा, मेरी बड़ी गाड़ी कब आएगी, मेरा एक फैक्ट्री का दूसरा फैक्ट्री कब होगा. These are the questions we generally ask. But these are not the questions to be asked because they are related to this temporary material world. Why are you attempting to ask questions to the temporary material world? Let us try to answer questions which are related to the upliftment of the soul. So here, so the Goswami said, yes, anyone can read?
Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the great sage Sukadeva Goswami, who can enter the hearts of all. When he went away to take up the renounced order of life, sannyas, leaving home without undergoing reformation by the sacred thread of or the ceremonies observed by the higher caste, his father, Vyasdev, fearing the separation from him, cried out, "O my son, indeed, only the trees which were absorbed in the same feeling of separation echoed in the response to be begrieved father."
Okay.
To the begrieved father.
Okay. So, how does Sutta Goswami start? How does Sutta Goswami start? He is paying obeisances to Shukdev Goswami. This is how one has to be always be thankful and grateful to his spiritual master before he starts anything. One has to always obey his or pay obeisances to his spiritual master before he starts the explanation or answering any questions, considering himself small. Not that now that question has been asked, oh, I'm a big person, they are asking me question, now I can answer the question in a big way. It should not be like that. Okay, next who is reading? Priya Mataji, please read the next verse, 1.1, 1.2.3.
Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him, Sukha, the spiritual master of all sages, the son of Vyasdev, who out of his compassion for those gross materialists who struggle to cross over the darkest regions of material existence, spoke this most confidential supplement to the cream of Vedic knowledge after having personally assimilated it by experience.
Very nice. Here, these two verses give you another important understanding. First, we are always proud about our material possessions, but we are never proud about our spiritual possessions. Because we don't possess anything spiritual, to be very honest. And if at all we possess a little also, we try to find out faults. Like one Mataji was trying to find a better spiritual master for herself. Right? That's a problem. The general problem with people. They like to find out faults. But from this we learn that how one person has to be proud about his spiritual master. हमें घमंड करना चाहिए दो चीज के ऊपर, भगवान के ऊपर और गुरु के ऊपर. One should be always be proud. I know I am not fit for it, but my spiritual master will make me fit. That proudness should not be that, hey, my spiritual master has studied more than you. He is older than you, he is fatter than your spiritual master. No, that's the material way of comparing. That I am not smart, but my spiritual master, whom I have given 100%, I have taken shelter of my spiritual master. That spiritual master can definitely take me back to Godhead. I may not be smart enough, but he is smart enough to make me smart so that I can go back. This is how it should be. That's why one always dresses up for this material world, but one should dress up for the Lord. How many of us really dress to show the Lord? We are interested how many likes we get on the Facebook. You first put a obnoxious photograph on the Facebook, and then we want that photo to be liked. We're not bothered. We are always bodily conscious. That's the problem. एक बार एक आदमी मंदिर गया, अच्छा महंगा जूता पहना था, तो चप्पल बाहर रख के गया अंदर. He went, left his slippers out, went inside the temple, praying to the God, but mind was on the slippers. First time he came to the new temple, after taking darshan, fatafat, he ran and saw whether the slippers are there or not. And as expected, slippers were missing. The slippers were missing. So he got very agitated, searched here and there. Then immediately he came back to the temple, wanted to go and complain to God. The other person who was with him was wondering, why is he running here and there? After 5 minutes he came. क्या हो गया? अंदर गए थे. You wanted to complain to God. I had went, but what is the use? The Lord also is sitting inside without slippers, Whenever you come to the temple, you will never see Lord wearing slippers. The Lord is also not wearing slippers. उसी का ही चप्पल चोरी हो गया तो मेरा भी चप्पल क्यों चोरी नहीं होगा? लोग तो भगवान का चप्पल चुरा लिया तो मेरा चप्पल क्यों नहीं चोरी? So we should be always not asking God, or we should not be always in that mood, comparative mood, or our mind should not be attached to materialistic things. We finished this verse, right? So this is the most important verse, which is also one of the part of our Mangalacharan, verse number 4, 1.2.4. Narayam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tatojaya mudire. Then the next verse will also come, nashta prayeshu abhadreshu. So let's understand this verse properly. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Nar Narayan, Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadev, the author. So we have to be thankful. There are many so-called Vaktas, or speakers, who claim as if they have written the Srimad Bhagavatam, they have put the bhava in the Srimad Bhagavatam and they explain. See, we have to be always in a humble mood. These are already written by great sages and we are just reading and trying to understand little bit of it from the verse. It's not that we should try to say that as if we have written this verse and we are the owners of this. No. So it is said, before reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should always pay obeisances. This verse actually pays the obeisances to the various acharyas, like Narayan Namaskrityam, Naram Chaiva Narottamam, Devim Saraswatim Vyasam. So what is this? Nar Narayan Rishi, then Saraswati Devi, the Lord of sing. So Vasant Panchami hai, so that's why somebody is in yellow also today. So it is connected to Saraswati ji. So we have to always pay respect to Saraswati Mata. Then Vyasdev also. And finally, the Jaya Mudire. What does this mean? Tato Jaya Mudire. Read the translation. All is the meant for conquering to be announced. Ye all jo humko we are Jay. I've used the word Jayati Tedikam. I explained in Gopi Git, the first verse. What is the meaning of Jay? Gone with the wind.
Jai is also opposite system.
Nobody remembers.
Victory, glorification.
Glory means what? Aapki jai ho, hamari parajay ho. What did the gopis say when they used the words Jayati Tedikam Janmana Vrata Shayatendira Tattva Tatrahi? When that verse is recited, what does this mean? Aapka jai ho means automatically you are taking us in your shelter. So here we are praying to all these stalwart people that please take us under your shelter. O sages, I have been justly questioned by you. Your questions are worthy because they relate to Lord Krishna and are so relevant to the world's welfare. Only questions of this sort are capable of completely satisfying the self. Why? What is it? Last line is very important. Ye kratha Krishna samprashno yena atma suprasidati. This is very important. The word yena atma suprasidati. इससे आत्मा को खुशी मिलेगी, शांति मिलेगी, और you will feel nice. One has to understand this. Because rest questions will not give you that satisfaction. Inquiry about Krishna, inquiry about our connection with Krishna, ours in the sense, the soul's connection with Krishna will give you exact understanding of it. Very, very important verse. From this, all Bhagavatam verses starts. Savai pumsa paro dharmo yatho bhakti adhokshaje ahetuki apratihata yaya atma suprasidati. First line, verse was also used the word yaya atma suprasidati, and here also he is using the same word yaya atma suprasidati. Now what does this mean? Savai pumsa paro dharmo. We have all got dharmas. सबका धर्म है. जैसे विमान का धर्म अभी पढ़ना है ना. एंड अपना प्रिया माता जी का धर्म है अभी पढ़ाना. सो सबका एक एक धर्म है. The father's dharma, a duty of a father, a duty of a son, a duty of a husband, a duty of a wife, a duty of a citizen, duty of an employee, duty of a boss. Everyone has some dharma or the other. So savai pumsa paro dharma. Now what is paro dharma? Sublime. That is, which is not, this is actual dharma. When you take care of your father, when you take care of your mother, mother says, "Ah, beta, thank you very much." This is, you cannot see the sublimeness in it. Whereas here, you will not understand the, unless and until one does paro dharma, the sublime dharma, where there is no direct interaction. "Ah, thank you, you have fed me today nice rasgullas. You made nice rasgullas and offered." Lord will not say this. Lord is not interested. But this is paro dharma. Why it is paro dharma? Because we are actually connected to God. Like a father, like say someone is connected to his son, someone is connected to his father, someone is connected to his wife, brother, father-in-law, mother-in-law, everyone. They are relations, but they are bodily relations. Suppose boy comes, sees one girl, and शादी होते होते कुछ भी कारण से रिजेक्ट हो जाता है, शादी कैंसिल हो जाता है, एंड ही मैरीज अनदर गर्ल. तो एक्चुअली वो लड़की का मम्मी डैडी उसका फादर इन लॉ मदर इन लॉ होना चाहिए था, बट नाउ ही गेट्स अ न्यू फादर इन लॉ मदर. सो दीज आर ऑल कनेक्टेड टू द body. But what is one relation which is common between all of us, be it be young, be it be old, be it be a boy, be it be a girl, be it be a male or a female? The connection is we are all souls. Souls of the same supreme. We are the world's richest man's son, you know that. सबसे अमीर बाप के बच्चे हैं हम लोग, बट फिर भी काश हम अपना अंबानी घर पे पैदा होता तो अच्छा रहता था. No, you are already rich. But the problem is we don't know how rich we are. We all know God is great, but we don't know how great God is. Similarly, we are also rich. Rich in the sense, you will say, Prabhuji, my bank balance is very weak. No, that's not our richness we are discussing right now. Here we are discussing about is our actual soul, which is connected to Supreme. So, savai pumsa paro dharma. What is the paro dharma? सबसे बड़ा धर्म क्या है? यथो भक्ति अधोक्षजे. Bhakti of adhokshaja. What is the meaning of adhokshaja? Does anybody have any idea of it? Adhokshaja. Yes. What is the meaning of adhoksha? Eyes of God. How are they? Very beautiful. Lord's eyes are, so he is called as, or is referred to as adhoksha. Adhoksha means he has got eyes like lotus petals. That is why adharam madhuram, vadana madhuram, everywhere Lord is considered to be madhuram, madhuram, madhuram. So Lord's eyes are also very beautiful. So that is why he is called as, one place he is called as adhokshaja. Second, he is also called as adhoksha because he cannot be seen by material eyes. He has to be seen by transcendental eyes. Lord cannot be seen by material eyes. पर कोई बोलेगा लाओ भगवान मुझे लाके दिखाओ. Not possible. You have to have that transcendental divine eyes. That's why in 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord wanted to show him the divine form, this Vishwarupa. And what did Arjuna say? I want to see your divine form. So what did Krishna say? Wait, let me give you Divya Chakshu. Divya Chakshu dene do, then only you can see. So you need special specs. And those specs can be given only by God. So that is why it is said. There are two meanings of adhokshaji. One meaning is directly referring to God as one with most beautiful like lotus-like eyes. And second meaning is one who cannot be perceived by material senses like eyes or any other sense. He cannot be perceived. You cannot smell God. You cannot listen, oh God, I can listen to you. These are all, many sadhus and all, they come up with these type of funny thing. I am talking to God, I got direct connection with God and all, but it's all not true. So, ahetuki apratihata. This is also very important. How you will get yaya atma suprasidhyati? कैसा मिलेगा आपको? Completely satisfied. Atma is self. सुप्रसिद्धि, शांति मिलेगी. शांति कब मिलेगी आपको? बहुत बड़ा टीवी लेंगे, जंबो टीवी लेंगे, या 25 बेडरूम वाला घर लेंगे, या बड़ा याच में घूमने जाएंगे, या वो सब करने से क्या आपको आत्मा को शांति मिलेगी? तो आत्मा को शांति कैसे मिलेगी? तो बाय दीज थिंग्स. फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट बाय डूइंग योर परो धर्मो, ऑफ डूइंग भक्ति only to adhokshaje. You can switch it off. Tell that person to switch off. So adhokshaje means Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then how it is to be? Ahetuki apratihata. What is the meaning of ahetuki? Come on, that's simple word. Personal benefit नहीं होना चाहिए. भगवान आपको मैं बहुत पूजा कर रहा हूँ, मेरा प्रमोशन करा देना, शादी करा देना, बच्चा हो जाना, ये सब नहीं. तो कि अप्रतिहता. व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ प्रतिहता? विदाउट अ ब्रेक. एवरी सैटरडे यू हैव टू बी प्रेजेंट फॉर द लेक्चर. दैट्स अ ब्रेक ना. अहेतु की अप्रतिहता. व्हाट द लॉर्ड सेज? अनब्रोकन. इट शुड बी नॉट ना आज ये सैटरडे संडे कर लिया, नेक्स्ट सैटरडे संडे टाइम नहीं मिलेगा भक्ति करने को, या सैटरडे टू संडे करेंगे, पूरा हफ्ता नहीं करेंगे. नहीं, पूरा हफ्ता भी करना है एवरी डे. सो अहेतु की अप्रतिहता याया आत्मा सुप्रसिद्धि थी. इससे आत्मा को शांति मिलेगी. तो अगर आपको आत्मा का शांति चाहिए तो एक ही तरीका है, कितना भी धर्म कर लो, माँ का सेवा करो, पत्नी का सेवा करो, पति का सेवा करो, बच्चे का सेवा करो, दुनिया का सेवा कर लो, कुछ फायदा नहीं. आपको इससे आत्मा का शांति नहीं मिलेगी. क्यों? ये इन लोगों को आप जो सेवा कर रहे हो, इनका आपका एक ही प्रॉब्लम होने वाला है, एंड दैट इज देयर एक्सपेक्टेशन विल गो ऑन इंक्रीजिंग. व्हेन यू डू बॉडीली सर्विस और ह्यूमन सर्विस, suppose you cook 2 vegetables for your son or for your child. Next you say, you made me 2, today make 3. He will not realize, she has made not 1, she has made 2. That realization doesn't come. So any bodily service will always lead to more expectations. more expectation. It will not reduce the expectations. That's why, whereas Lord will never say, "Arey, yesterday you gave me rasgulla, today you have given me only chapati bhaji." He doesn't have expectations. Oh, last year you did very nice flower dressings for mine. This year done a very simple sada. No problem. That's why Lord says, "Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadam bhaktya upartam ashnami prayatatmana." He clears clearly, "Patram pushpam phalam toyam," कुछ भी दे दो. और हम लोग भी ऐसे हैं ना. We follow that instruction. We follow very perfectly. Perfectly we follow. खुद के लिए क्या करना है? हलवा पूरी. भगवान ने खड़ी सागर खा ले. थोड़ा सा खड़ी सागर रख लो या किशमिश काजू किशमिश दिया ना, काजू किशमिश खाओ. And you should see the size of the vati. Katori. My God. It can be used for scientific experiments also. इतना small. इतने छोटे कटोरी में people will keep something for the Lord and खुद खाएंगे मस्त हलवा पूरी रोटी सब्जी सब बना के खाएंगे. So this is a problem. पूछेंगे तो बोलेंगे आपने बोला ना पत्रम पुष्पम फलम तोयम. So it's very easy to come out. So please try to understand. If one fulfills these criteria of doing bhakti of adokshaje, secondly, with two conditions, star conditions applied. What are the two conditions? Ahetuki, apratihata. Without any ulterior motive and without any break. Then your Atma will get Shanti. Otherwise, however you try to satisfy your boss, your household people, their expectation, because by default, anything in this world, material world, can never get satisfied. That is why the famous song is there, na? Dil mange. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janyatyashu Vairagyam Jnanam cha Ahetukam. Very, very important, very meaningful words for all of us. Vasudeve Bhagavati. Vasudev, here very specifically mentioned. Who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Only to Vasudeva. Vasudeve Bhagavati. To the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is Krishna. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha. कैसे भगवान वासुदेव को भक्ति करना, कैसे करना चाहिए? भक्ति योग से करना चाहिए. भक्ति योग से आप भक्ति करोगे तो, और भक्ति योग मतलब कैसा हो जाए? What is, how is भक्ति योग? What do you call as भक्ति योग? Tell me, what is called as भक्ति योग? Yes. आप तो बहुत करते हैं भक्ति, तो बताइए. सीनियर स्टूडेंट नरोत्तम प्रभु बताए हैं. बोलिए प्रभु, हाउ आर यू डूइंग? भक्ति योग कैसे करोगे? योग मीन्स कनेक्टिंग. तो भक्ति योग कैसे करोगे? अच्छा, वही भक्ति योग है. हाँ बोलिए माता जी. हाँ यस टीचर बोलिए. भक्ति योग कैसे करेंगे? यस करेक्ट बोलिए. हाँ
विष्णु स्मरणम सेवनम अर्चनम वंदनम वंदनम
यस. नवदा भक्ति से भक्ति किया जाता है प्रभु. ये तो मजबूरी से करते हैं. क्या करें? प्रभु जी ने बोला हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे, सोते सोते भी करते हैं. इसको मजबूरी भक्ति बोलते हैं. बट we are supposed to improvise on this quality also. This is ठीक है. अभी आपने हाथ में दे दिया कुछ तो मुझे हमको काम पे लगा दिया तो हम काम पे लग गए. नहीं, that's not the way you are do devotional service. You are supposed to do devotional in the Navda Bhakti manner. Shravanam. One has to come to class to listen. नहीं सुनोगे तो कभी भक्ति आगे नहीं बढ़ेगी. The first step for anyone to improve, even if you want to sing a nice lullaby song, the first thing is Shravanam. Why? why does a dumb person not speak? वो सुनेगा तो बोल पाएगा. That is why बच्चे के सामने हम जाके बात करते हैं तो फिर बच्चा speak something. If the child cannot hear, he cannot speak. So the problem is, first is Shravanam. Listen to music song, Bollywood song, Hollywood song, Hari Katha, Bhagavad Katha. No, that is the first thing you start with. Shravanam, then Kirtanam. And this comes in Kirtanam, Prabhu. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Remembering Vishnu in various forms. Then Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam. That is doing deity worship. Archanam, that also comes in deity worship. Vandanam, paying offices to the Lord. Dasyam. In Dasya Bhav also one can serve. That is the various higher levels you go. Dasyam, Sakhyam. Dasya means first a person starts with Dasya Bhav. And then it goes to Sakha Bhav. Bhav becomes friend, no? आज नहीं किया, आज मैं टायर्ड हूँ, आज भक्ति नहीं करूँगा. फ्रेंड है, समझ लेते हैं. वो लेवल पे चले जाते हो आप लोग. आई एम इन दास्य भाव, साख्य भाव विद माय लॉर्ड. आई डोंट हैव टू डू एनीथिंग. भगवान को बोल देता हूँ, आज मेरे से नहीं होगा भक्ति, आज चैंटिंग भी नहीं होगा, थक गया हूँ मैं. एंड टुडे आई वांट टू गो फॉर अ नाइस मूवी, सो टुडे आई विल नॉट. सो एंड इफ एनीबडी आस्क्स यू कैन सी आई एम इन सखा भाव. No, this is not Sakha Bhav, this is madness. So, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. Atma Nivedanam means surrendering yourself fully for the Lord. So, this Navada Bhakti process, this Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, ये तीन करते करते ही अपना आधी जिंदगी निकल जाती है. और वो भी ढंग से नहीं कर पाते. श्रवणम भी सुना तो सुना, नहीं सुना तो नहीं सुना. क्या इस माता जी? नॉट बोलो यूट्यूब में सुनने को. श्रवणम, कीर्तन, ये सब होना चाहिए. सो वासुदेवे भगवती भक्ति योग प्रयोजिता. प्रयोजिता मीन्स अप्लाइड. वासुदेवे भगवती भक्ति योग प्रयोजिता. Janyatyaashu vairagyam. Janyatyaashu. What is the meaning of, what is the mother called in Sanskrit? Janani. जो जन्म देती है. तो what does this word say? एक बार आपने भगवान का भक्ति किया. कई लोग बोल सकते हैं प्रभु क्या है, छूटता नहीं है प्रभु, मैं अटैचमेंट टू द मटेरियल वर्ल्ड छूटता नहीं. सो The first thing is वासुदेव भक्ति. भक्ति योग से जो ट्राई करेगा, जन्यत्याशु, जन्म मीन्स जन्म होगा, और वो भी आशु मीन्स वेरी फास्ट. आशु मीन्स वेरी फास्ट. क्या होगा? वैराग्यम, डिटैचमेंट. तो अभी कितने लोग क्लास छोड़ के जाना चाहते हैं? हम डिटैच किसको होना है भाई? वी आर अटैच्ड टू आवर मटेरियल वर्ल्ड. Janyatyaashu vairagyam jnanam. Second, two things will be born. One who is in a bhakti yoga with Krishna, very soon it will take birth. बहुत जल्द जन्म होगा. क्या? वैराग्यम ज्ञानम च अहेतुकम. हेतु की ज्ञान नहीं, अहेतु की ज्ञान. And that comes free. How does it come, माताजी? फटक से आ जाएगा, without any reason. But provided star conditions apply. Your first initial bhakti to the Lord. And see, the biggest problem what people face is not the problem of bhakti. The problem is association. अगर कोई श्रवणम करना चाहता है, he wants to come to the class, some nice friend of yours will come and tell, पागल है, Saturday night fever, you are wasting in some useless bald-headed person's class, wasting your time. So we have to understand that. क्या हो गया?
इसका फोन वाइब्रेट हो गया.
ठीक है, some yeah they will be getting call from Krishna. Don't worry, relax. सो जन यद्याशु क्या हो गया? अच्छा देखा, जन यद्याशु वैराग्य. This is how we are all in this material world. सुनना सब कुछ, सुनो सबकी करो monkey, and you want to be a monkey. So this is the problem. It's very difficult because first and foremost to do bhakti in the true sense itself is a challenging thing, and after doing that too with ahetuki apratihata, ये दोनों हिसाब से करोगे तो आपको दो चीज मिलेगा, ज्ञान और वैराग्य. और ज्ञान और वैराग्य कौन है? पुत्र है. तो पहले भक्ति जिंदगी में आएगी तो ज्ञान और वैराग्य आएगा. और लोग बैठे हैं, नहीं पहले ज्ञान और वैराग्य आने दो, बाद में हम भक्ति करेंगे. इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल, इट इज उल्टा. फर्स्ट भक्ति हैज टू कम इन योर लाइफ, देन ज्ञान एंड वैराग्य. ज्ञान मीन्स डजंट मीन मटेरियल नॉलेज, इट मीन्स स्पिरिचुअल नॉलेज. So please, next time I've requested Rajesh Prabhu to get some this thing. The soft copy is ready with me. I mean, it was prepared way back in 2016. So that copy is still there, soft copy. So that printouts will be given. We will be reciting these verses every time in the class. We will be coming around 20 minutes earlier from next class, so that we can recite these verses. And this will be an asset not only for this world life but in the next life also. जो भागवत का कहते हैं एक श्लोक भी अगर बाहर कर लो तो भी काफ़ी है. तो हम लोग वी डोंट वांट टू मेक चांसेस, वी डोंट लीव एनी चांसेस. एक से क्या होगा मेरा, एक से मेरा क्या होगा. सो लाइक वी विल हैव सम मोर. सो वासुदेवे भक्ति भगवती भक्ति योग प्रयोजिता जन्यत्याशु वैराग्यम ज्ञानम च हेतुकम. या
नॉर्मली प्रयोजन मतलब तो रीजन होता है ना, मतलब जैसे
नहीं, प्रयोजन मीन्स प्रोसेस. संबंध अभिधेय प्रयोजन. प्रयोजन means you may say end is Krishna Prem, the end result, but it has to be through process only. That's why it is in the word to word meaning. If you see, it is very clearly given.
being applied.
Being applied. Being applied. When it is being applied, when it is done, means you have done properly bhakti yoga, which is related to the earlier verse. Ahetuki apratihata. This is very important. This always remember in life. Anything you do, it should be ahetuki apratihata. At least apratihata तो होना ही चाहिए. अगर आपको हेतु वाला चीज ही कर रहे हो तो उसमें ब्रेक नहीं होना चाहिए. You know, if someone is sitting in the share market, once in a while he goes to the share market. Daily he has to go. Suppose he is doing some computer job, he has to be daily in that line. Once in a while, नहीं आज केला बेचूंगा, कल कंप्यूटर बेचूंगा. It will not work. He has to be in whatever it is, he has to be focused. That is, what is the meaning of apratihata? Means you have to be focused. Then, when you will get, what is the prayojita can be said, see, if you say is the end result, in that case also it is fine. Na? In the end it is going to give you Janani. It is going to give birth to Bhakti and, Vairagya and Gyan. The end result of Bhakti also is going to be Gyan and Vairagya. If you take it in the other sense also, it makes no difference. Dharma swanishtita pumsa vishwaksena kathasuya na utpadeye idi ratim shrama evahi kevalam. Very important verse. Again you have to understand in this. Dharma swanishtita pumsaha. What is dharma here? See, now to understand this verse is going to be difficult because the varnashram dharma has totally been broken. Earlier there used to be varnashram dharma. And what is the purpose of creating varnashram dharma? Each varna will take care of the other varna. It is to be balanced. Brahmana's job, what is his job? To give knowledge. Kshatriya's job to give protection. Vaishya's job is to give money and feed, finance and feeding. Krishi, Goraksha, Vanijya. That is what is said in the verse. So Krishi भी उनका ही काम है. कृषि मतलब खाने का कहाँ से खाओगे? ये अच्छा. Brahmana is giving knowledge to the other three. Kshatriya is giving protection to the other three. Vaishya is giving food and money to the other three. Themselves also, and of course the other three. And if you see the last, the Shudras, they are not supposed to be downtrodden or low or something. They are supposed to be taking the service class. They are serving them, and they are supposed to serve the other three. So all classes were balanced. What is the difference? Why spiritual teacher and a student? What is the जोड़ी क्यों होती है? गुरु चेले का चूड़ी बोलते हैं ना हम लोग. गुरु और उसका शिष्य जो होता है. What is the purpose? Shishya takes care of the bodily requirements of the guru, and the guru takes care of the soul requirements of the shishya. That is the difference. Everything has been, our Sanatana Dharma has been balanced so nicely, so perfectly. If you go to any school of any specific cult, there they teach about their God and their way of seeing is spread. But when it comes to our Sanatana Dharma, how many schools are there who are teaching this? But still, how great Sanatana Dharma is. In spite of not being taught, still it is surviving. In spite of not being taught in any school and any college, whereas there are so many schools and colleges to speak that, so and so is God, and they are spreading that message, and there are people to accept that segment also. There is a segment who accepts that knowledge also. In spite of that, in spite that Sanatana Dharma does not have any specific teacher or specific thing which can bank upon, still survive, the Sanatana Dharma is standing strong even today. So Dharma rakshati iti dharma. Dharma takes care of dharma itself. So great, so many invaders came. The Muslims came, the Mughals, Mughals came, then the Britishers came, they spread their Christianity, the Mughals spread their Muslim cult. But in spite of all that, still Sanatana Dharma is standing strong and fighting. Though there are so many people who are there inside this religion itself who are trying to eat it. In spite of that, that is the greatness. So just imagine in Satyuga and Dwapar and Treta how strong it would have been. This is Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, this is expected. Someone was telling me, sir, in schools nowadays they are giving like compositions, essays, to write essays for small children on dogs. Nobody writes on God. Everyone writes on DOG, not on GOD. Because they don't have knowledge of GOD. So they have got knowledge of DOG. And what is that knowledge of DOG is? The dog welcomes me. The dog takes care of me. Whenever I enter the house, it comes licking me. So from childhood, this is put in the knowledge, the mind. First and foremost, 10 people are having dog. And 10 people are gifting dog. And 10 people who are taking the dog as a gift, they are taking care of the dog. And the worst part is, other gifts you can pack up and give it to others. This gift you cannot pack and give it to others. No? Hey, अपना इंडियन कल्चर ऐसा है, इंडियंस आर वेरी स्मार्ट. चलो यार काम का नहीं है, किसी और को चिपका देते हैं. किसी का बर्थडे आएगा उसको पैक करके ऐसे रैप करके दे देंगे, चल प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व. बट इसको कहाँ रैप करके दोगे? This is like no return, no thing, nothing can be done with that type of gifts. And this is a trend and the new culture which is going in the society today. So studying, प्रभु जी अभी ऐसा सब लिखने के बाद बच्चे के मन में इच्छा जागता है कुत्ता होने के बाद. So सीधी बात है, जो चीज का वो श्रवणम करेगा वही फॉलो करेगा. अगर भगवान के बारे में सुनेगा तो बोलेगा चलो मंदिर आके सुनता हूँ, भगवत कथा सुनता हूँ. अगर फ्रेंड्स के बीच में शराब और सिगरेट और ड्रग्स के बारे में बात करेगा तो वही आके सुनेगा, वही जो सुनेगा वही करेगा, वही इच्छा जागेगी. That is why Shravanam is important. What you listen, and you can listen proper things only in a proper company. When a company is wrong, what can you do? When your association is wrong, you can't do anything for that. Yes, bro.
आती थी ना स्कूल में अपने क्लास छोड़ दिया अपने कैट के लिए
हाँ हाँ, one Mataji left our Bhagavad Gita class just because she said I can leave God but I can't leave my cat. So she left. Anyhow, next birth she will be. Where were you stuck? Traffic. नेक्स्ट सैटरडे से आप लोग 5 बजे निकल जाना घर से. हाँ, सवेरे निकल जाओ बेस्ट. नो प्रॉब्लम. चलो. सो धर्म स्वनिष्ठित पुंसहाम विश्वक्सेन कथा सुयः न उत्पादे हृदि रतिम श्रम एव ही केवलम. सो धर्म स्वनिष्ठित. व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ स्वनिष्ठित? Executed in terms of his one's own position. हर आदमी का एक धर्म दिया है. जैसे अभी यंगस्टर्स को पढ़ने का धर्म दिया है, फिर कमाने का धर्म दिया है. तो आगे का मालूम है. Let's stick to this present dharma. So we have to study. That is our youthhood dharma. Then we are supposed to we study for our belly. पेट भरने के लिए सर्टिफिकेट चाहिए. किसके लिए? पेट भरने के लिए. बट वन हैज टू स्टडी स्पिरिचुअल नॉलेज ऑल्सो एट द यंग एज ऑल्सो. सो धर्म स्वनिष्ठित पुंसा विश्वक्सेन. विश्वक्सेन मीन्स हियर इट इज रेफर्ड टू अ प्लैनरी पोर्शन ऑफ द लॉर्ड. भगवान का एक अंश. 1.2.8 कथा सूय इन दिस मैसेज. यह न उत्पादे. आफ्टर डूइंग ऑल दिस, suppose Darshan Prabhu is a very nice father, very nice husband, very nice son, very nice son-in-law, very nice brother-in-law, very nice brother. Say doing all this, very nice person of the society, very nice friend also. Very nice friends for the friends, he is a very good friend. Everything. After doing everything, he one day decides that I want to do parodharma. I want to do parodharma. Then he starts coming to the class, then start listening, everything he does. And after doing everything, after attending regular class, ahetuki, apratihata, without a break, every class first to come, very nice. But na utpade yadi ratim. न उत्पादे यदि रतिम. अगर आपके अंदर भगवान के प्रति रति, प्रेम जागृत नहीं होता है, देन व्हाट इज इट? श्रम एव ही केवलम. इट इज ओनली फ्यूटाइल लेबर. और सिंपल वर्ड्स, गधा मजदूरी. यस. So what are the balance things? When are you going to leave? Mava and all that stuff. There is no utpadeyadi ratim. Change, Prabhu, change. See, this is what I am not saying this. Shastra is saying this. Are you guaranteeing you will be there tomorrow morning? No. We will be meeting both of us. Can you guarantee? Then why soon? Now. Now or never. अच्छा है. वसंत पंचमी अच्छा दिन है. That's what I'm saying. Everything is finally, that is why जन्यत्याशु वैराग्यम. क्यों वैराग्य जन्म नहीं ले रहा है? क्योंकि अभी तक चैंटिंग सही नहीं कर रहे. If you do proper chanting, then अपने आप ये वैराग्य आएगा. How many rounds are you chanting, Prabhu? 2. तो इतना ही वैराग्य आएगा. You want chant more? I am not saying ask you chant 16 rounds. At least chant 8 rounds.
Probably 2 बहुत लगता है, but धीरे-धीरे.
Prabhu, right? अच्छा लगता है. क्यों? See, it's like this, Prabhu. It's simple. Material world. When you are soaked in the material world this much, then spiritual world is very less. When you increase your chanting, this becomes heavier and this pan goes up. Then you will not feel it. Why you are feeling it? Because you feel you are doing an obligation, either on God or on me or on the mala.
I wanted to ask that also. Okay, by doing that, actually I do it as if a compulsion है.
Ha.
So that is
But
right.
any time, first time remember Prabhu, no child goes jumping to the school. When he is put in the kindergarten, he never goes jumping. He is forced to go to school.
But it's actually right.
He cries. So that we give freebies also. What we do when the child goes to playgroup, we give him nice wafers, pastries, cake, what all stuff, chocolates and all that stuff. ताकि वो चॉकलेट के लिए कम से कम जाके बैठे, उसके लिए नहीं बैठता है, वो पढ़ाई के लिए खुशी से नहीं जा रहा है. And then one teacher comes and dances like that and like that. He is not bothered also. He is bothered on the dabba. The focus is on the dabba. जैसे बोलेगा खा बोलेगा, खोल के वो खा लेगा, ड्रेस पे गिरा लेगा, सब कर लेगा. So we also give nice freebies. Like, okay, you'll get this, you'll get that and all that. But finally the main purpose, when the child comes to SSC, that time the mother doesn't give, okay, I'll give you nice chocolate, pastries, wafers, so that you will study well. That's maturing. The child matures, it doesn't require those freebies. Initially, it requires freebies. So first KG, what does he? He doesn't, the first KG or junior KG class, he doesn't study, A plus B the whole squared is equal to A squared plus 2AB plus B squared. He doesn't study there. What is it? One tomato, one carrot, one apple, ऐसे ही पढ़ता है. Then 2 apples, 2 potatoes, ऐसा पढ़ता है. So this is how you start. So if you get stuck to 2 rounds for more than 2 months, it is very dangerous. Then it will develop into something instead of you developing something. So it's better you start your chanting seriously and take it up seriously. So dharma swanishtha pumsam vishwaksena katha suya. In the message, whatever message you get from the Lord. That's why let's read the translation which Srila Prabhupada has. Occupational activities of a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction to the message of the personality of God. अगर भगवान के प्रति रति, भगवान के कथा के प्रति रति. See, I mean, all of us may say, Rajesh Prabhu and his family just came now. They came late. Don't see that. See the rati in that. They didn't say, okay, it is late, let's take a U-turn and go, it's huge traffic. That is what one has to see. The determination. Problems are going to come in life. And that too, when you are going to start devotion, big problems will come in your life. But you have to be focused. Someday or the other. Okay. I'm going to go fast because otherwise Bhagavatam I cannot complete it even in 2-3 years, because now it will take a lot of time in Kunti Stuti and Bhishma Stuti and all. It will take hell of a time. Dharma se apavargasya na artho arthaya upagalpate na arthasya dharmaikantasya kamo labhahi smritaha. Very important verse. Prabhupada quotes this verse n number of times in his lectures and his notes. Dharma se hi apavargasya. Now what is apavarga? So first let us understand what is pavarga. What is pavarga? Have you heard of pavarga? बोलो. हाँ वही है. बोलो. हाँ वो क्या? हाँ उसका पूरा परफेक्ट अंडरस्टैंडिंग है शास्त्र में. प फ भ म. What does it mean? Pa means parishram. Fa means fena. और उसके आगे
उसके बाद क्या है?
Bhaya and last is ma. What is that? Mrityu. Prabhupada says this very nicely. Fena, I'm explaining, I'm coming, don't worry, I'm not running. Pa, fa, bha, ma, bha, ma. What are these? ठीक है प्रभु जी. This is what Prabhupada has taught us. We have to understand that. Parishram. What does this mean? In material life, we are doing lot of parishram. कहते हैं गधा. Prabhupada ji very nicely says, donkey works very hard, and finally foam comes out of its mouth. Fena means foam. Foam comes out of its mouth, and then becomes old, doing that same activity again and again and again and again, and finally it is bhaya. Bhaya is always there. We are always fearful of the present, past and future. Present and future to pakka we are fearful. And then mrityu. So that is why it is said dharmasya hi apavargasya. Pavarga, these are called as pavarga, and they are called as apavarga. Na artho arthaya upakalpate. What does this mean? Na, not. Artha, end. Arthaya, material gain, not just money. It can be ghar, gaadi, bangla, factory, n number of things. Na artho arthaya. What happened? For fena. Na artho arthaya upakalpate. It means na arthasya dharma ekantasya. Neither of material gain dharma ekantasya, for one who is engaged in ultimate occupational devotional service. Kama labhahi smritaha. What is a kama? Kama means sense gratification. Labha means attains labh, uska labh. He smritaha, it is described by the stages. So let's understand this, what Prabhupada is trying to say. All occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. What does this mean? अगर एक कोई कुम्हार है, potter who is making pots, वो जरूरी है गांव में अगर वो pot नहीं बनेगा तो गांव भर pot कैसे खाएगा? Like for example, today there are various people doing various business. Suppose you want to renovate your house, you will need cement, you will get someone who is going to give you reti, who is going to give you bricks, then who is going to give you, architect will design the furniture for you, you need someone who can give you plywood, then you need a carpenter to do that. So all are required. Everything is required for completion of or living a proper life. So it's all occupational engagements are necessarily meant, are only meant, certainly meant for liberation. कहीं ना कहीं वो सेवा करते 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 भक्ति में लीन होना है. The problem is, earlier a carpenter was not making a bar set or a sculptor used to make deities, murti ka sculptor used to sculpt out, carve out a deities of the stone or wood or anything of the sort, or used to build a temple. So occupational devotees were made in such a way that person doesn't use it in the wrong way or wrong applied. Whereas that is why it is said all occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. जन्म मृत्यु के चक्कर से बाहर निकलना है. They should never be performed for material gains. But the problem is यहाँ पे हर कोई काम material gain. जैसे you see, coming from a Brahminical background, someone may put up a factory for chicken, selling chicken. I am selling chicken. Why? I want more money. That's a material gain. One should not do that. One should do his Brahminical job. If someone is a Brahmana, he should do a Brahmana job. If he is a Kshatriya, he should do a Kshatriya job. He should be sticking to his profession somewhere or the other, his occupation somewhere or the other. Furthermore, according to sages, one who is engaged in ultimate occupational service. What is the ultimate occupational service? Yes. पहले फर्स्ट वर्ड्स में मैं क्या बोला? हमारा एक्चुअल बिजनेस क्या है? एक्चुअल अल्टीमेट बिजनेस क्या है? परफॉर्मिंग डिवोशन सर्विस. पहले before the Britishers came, we used to all work only for 4 or 5 hours, and we used to not work in for someone. We used to work for our own self. You ask any of our grandparents, they were all doing their own, taking care of their own field or doing some own business. They were never working as slaves under anybody. It is the Britishers who said, "You fools, Indians," because they wanted slaves to work. They wanted us to work as slaves. So what did they say? You are so lazy. You have got so many holidays you want. You work for only 6-8 months in a year. What do you do rest of the time? What are you going to do? Bhajan, kirtan and doing all devotional service. It's a waste. So there was a change in the culture. If you see the last 50 or 100 years, there is a transition in the process of our thinking and working. If you see the difference between our great grandfathers, they were working less and they were more happier. We are working more and still we are sad. Because they were working for some certain goal, and that was the goal was liberation. To get develop some rati towards the Supreme Personality. Whereas this was not the case. Today it is not the case. But if we can, still we can revive it back. Furthermore, according to sages, one who is engaged in ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. Finally, it becomes, everything boils down to sense gratification. Everyone wants to know, so suppose there's some big prachar, kathavachak, who has got a lot of money, lot of devotee, followers. What does he do? Finally, that thing should not be used for his sense gratification. He should use it for building some temple or for preaching purpose or something of that sort. So this is how one has to apply. Now mind you, these are the answers which Suta Goswami is giving to the various sages in the form of answering the question. Still the question is not yet answered. He has just started the preview. How we have to be engaging ourselves, how we have to be a hetuki, apratihata, and it should be Vasudeve Bhagavati, Bhakti Yoga Prayojita, Janyati Ashu Vairagyam, Jnanam Chahetukam. How will you develop that Vairagya? How will you develop that Jnana? That process is all is being mentioned here. It's a very, very introductive way of understanding this. Of course, further we go, it will go deeper and deeper, we will get the understanding. Okay, this we like to close today's class, and anybody has got any doubts, questions, can ask. Yes, bro.
Probably this translation